Good morning. Welcome to Up with KREM. It is 6 o'clock on your Friday morning. I'm Nicole Hernandez.
And I'm Channing Curtis. Well, let's go ahead and get you ready to head out the door this morning with meteorologist Thomas Patrick. Thomas, you've been telling us about the storms yesterday, but that rain is still going to be impacting us today.
Yeah, we are still very much busy here in the Weather Center. We had severe thunderstorms last night. This morning, it's just outright humid as a result of that. More lighter scattered showers first thing this morning, but still that potential for heavy rain later on today still exists. So our current Doppler radar showing those overcast skies and just a few light showers still passing from east to west across the region, kind of in that backwards motion. But as we look at the storm reports from yesterday, all these little spots that you see are all storm reports, most of them severe wind reports, as wind gusts were up to 60 miles per hour on the leading edge of those thunderstorms. Also have a few heavy rain reports in the middle of that as well, because that rain came down fast and furious. A lot of rain, short period of time. Some of those poor drainage areas did get a little bit of standing water or flooding from last night. But as of this morning, our only change to the flood watch is that Spokane County was dropped from the flood watch. So we're not under a flood threat anymore, at least not in Spokane County. The other areas, I think it's pretty marginal. I think it's starting to wane, but it is still in effect until 11 o'clock this morning.
Well, thousands of Avista customers are waking up with no power. In total, more than 3,000 people have power outages right now. You can see the map right here. Most of them are happening in Stevens County. Avista says crews are working as fast as they can to get the power back, but they also say they have a lot of outages to assess throughout the morning. So we'll, of course, continue to keep you updated on all of these outages all morning long.
Today, 2 hearings will be held to discuss the scope of a gag order in the Moscow murders case. Right now, anyone connected with the case is prohibited from speaking to the media. Now, the first hearing will address the family's issues with the gag order. That hearing is scheduled to begin at 10:30 this morning. Then the second hearing will be to hear evidence in the media's lawsuit. That KREM 2 is a part of that suit. That hearing will be held at 1:30 this afternoon. And of course, we'll bring you any updates or developments on the KREM 2 news at noon and on our website, krem.com. Well, looking ahead to Monday, the Spokane City Council is voting on an emergency ordinance that was prompted after complaints and a call for an investigation into the police chief.
Mayor Nadine Woodward has said no to starting an investigation several times after several community groups accused Police Chief Craig Meidel of showing favoritism and providing city records to downtown business owners. Council President Brianne Begg says the ordinance will change city code to match a 2013 charter amendment. That amendment says the police ombudsman should independently investigate complaints against police officers. But Mayor Woodward says only she has the authority to launch an investigation under the charter, and changing it would require a public vote.
Well, I have the authority to investigate the police chief. The ombudsman does not. And if the council wants that, then they're going to have to change the city charter.
But she can't keep the ombudsman from investigating the chief, because the city charter that the voters passed said he can investigate anything to help him understand police and help the community understand it. So the charter change that she's talking about already took place in 2013. I just don't think she's read up on the charter.
Begg says if passed, the ordinance would not automatically launch an investigation into Chief Meidel. It would then be up to the ombudsman at that point. And new from overnight, a federal grand jury indicted former President Donald Trump in connection to the classified documents seized from his Mar-a-Lago home.
Now, this is the first time that a former president has faced federal charges. Trump now faces 7 criminal charges in connection with the mishandling of more than 100 classified documents that were discovered last year in Florida. The indictment is sealed, but CBS News confirmed the charges include false statements. His legal team says there's at least 1 charge related to the Espionage Act. The former president is denying any wrongdoing in this case, and Trump still leads the polls for the 2024 GOP candidacy.
The fact that they indicted him here means that they believe that they have enough evidence to go forward. The DOJ generally, doesn't move forward unless they believe they have enough.
The former president will appear in a federal court in Miami on Tuesday. This indictment comes less than 3 months after he was indicted in New York on felony charges for falsifying business records. A trial in that case is set to start next March.
It's 6:05 now. Let's take a look at your morning rush. More news in less time. Spokane police arrested an East Valley High School teacher for allegedly shooting at his ex-wife. Benjamin Hill is charged with first-degree assault. Police arrested Hill in May, but he posted bond for $100,000. His ex-wife said she found a bullet in her car door while she was driving, and in the past few months, she says someone also shot at her house. This morning, we're learning more about a Tacoma man who was charged for shooting at 2 military helicopters on Wednesday. Andre Wright Jr. is charged with first-degree assault, unlawful possession of a gun, and owning a stolen gun. Witnesses say he fired 2 rounds at helicopters flying over American Lake. Officers arrested him on Tuesday. By next Tuesday, ramp meters on the Geiger and Grove interchange will start controlling drivers getting onto the freeway. The ramp meters will be on from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. on weekdays. The Washington State Department of Transportation says they'll help space out how many cars get on the freeway at a time. And tomorrow, the Spokane Pride Parade will march through downtown. The parade starts at noon and celebrations will go on until 6 o'clock at Riverfront Park. This year, event organizers are thinking more than 50,000 people will attend, including us here at KREM too. So we will be marching this year, so come on down and say hi. That's a look at your morning rush.
Weather-wise this morning, it is humid outside. We can even feel it a little bit on the inside of our studios as well. So that humidity obviously coming from the rainfall that we got yesterday, and it's going to keep those rain chances certainly present all day long for today. I want to point out something. Most people like to look at the relative humidity on this map, but relative is relative to the temperature. So if the temperature climbs, the relative humidity will drop. So instead I put that other number, the dew point. That's more your absolute humidity value. And when it's at 60 degrees, it's humid for the inland Northwest. Usually 50 is noticeable for us. So certainly very muggy, very humid out there this morning. Our temperature is mild as a result of that. Most of us in the low to mid 60s right now. And that humidity will once again produce more showers and more thunderstorms, especially for this afternoon again.
Get ready, everyone. The Manito Art Festival is returning this weekend in Spokane. Now, this is the 3rd year that organizers have hosted the event in the park. And this morning, that's where we will find our Brandon T. Jones. So, Brandon, you got to give us the rundown here. What can we expect for this event?
Oh, well, Channing, you can expect a lot of fun happening here at Manito Park tomorrow. It starts at 10 a.m. and runs to 6 p.m., right?
Correct.
All right, correct. And I'm standing with Kelly Brown right now. She's the president of Friends of Manito. She's the one who's making all of this happen. So, Kelly, how excited are you for, the return of the festival?
I'm so excited. This is one of my favorite days of the year. I always joke that my face hurts at the end of the day from smiling so much because it's so much fun.
Absolutely. So we've talked a little bit about the art vendors that are going to be here. What else can people expect here at the festival?
Children's activities. We have the Botanical Alchemists back for the 3rd year. They create a beautiful floral display, and they'll be doing some kids' art activities and food and music.
Okay, all right. Well, so what's your overall just like favorite part? I know that might be hard. That's like choosing, a favorite child or things of that nature, but you're behind all of the great things that are happening here. Is there one particular moment like at any of the festivals throughout the years that has really just stood out to you?
I think just hearing the artist stories afterwards about the connections they make and the new customers they get and the people they meet, it's just a great sense of community, and that's my favorite part about it.
Absolutely. And you were telling me, yeah, that community, it's just like, a part of the reason that you love Spokane. So how excited are you just for even more people to come out? Because it's grown every single year. Is that like something that's really just heartwarming to you when you see just the excitement and the happiness on the faces of the people who attend?
Yes, it's very exciting. I mean, in the first year, we didn't know what to expect of it, but then flash forward 3 years, and it's big, and we have people wanting to be here and telling their friends about it, and different artists sharing the information with each other, and it's heartwarming.
Absolutely. Well, it's heartwarming that you've joined us this early in the morning, Kelly. So we appreciate you, and we'll have an opportunity to continue to have a conversation with Kelly throughout the morning. So stay tuned for that. And for right now, we'll toss it back to you all in the studio.